Greetings, everyone. Cormac here, just bringing you today on this lovely, lovely Wednesday, a PvZ 2 run that I performed on my mobile phone offline. So what I'm going to be doing here is just playing the just playing the recording back and providing some commentary over it a little bit. So we won't be able to do that, but yeah, again, hoping that this run goes well and that we have some good entertainment value. So feel free to ask away. We won't be able to make any modifications to the gameplay. Again, this just being a pre-recording and all, but I hope you enjoy the content and certainly hope that the run goes well. A quick note: I thought my mic was off while I was recording this, but turns out that it was on. So you might hear my voice like in the background over this video that was like captured in the desktop audio, but that should be okay. Again, sort of as usual, we're starting from a live screen, and we're starting from loading the game from scratch as is required by our rules. This basically resets the RNG, and everything should be okay. Then, of course, building a new account from there. Oh, it took me so long here. I think I was messing around with some of the buttons. Resetting some of my hotkeys for live split and all that, so just bad there. But yep, create a just going ahead creating a new account. I've sort of tried to see if there's any good luck or variation in what you call the file names, if there are in some, but so far we really haven't seen that. So hope you all enjoyed the new layout, by the way. This was the better way to capture the game on mobile, where mobile sort of has, a different aspect ratio that sort of leads to the best, the best quality content and things like that. So added my Twitter and YouTube there at the bottom. Although this run will probably end up going to both of those, so that'll be very exciting. Here we go. Timing will start right when we click over. So there we go. The reason that we choose to do this on a mobile phone is that we found that this version is, much more, that the mobile phone, the load times are much quicker. You can actually save about 2 to 3 seconds per level on mobile phone. And it might actually be even faster to use certain mobile devices, like an Android device we found we think might be even faster than an iPhone, which is what I play on. So again, right here, first thing that we want to do, just using that plant food as quickly as possible, and going off. All right. What the hold up there was with clicking the fast forward button, but maybe lost about a second there. Maybe lost about a second here as well to making sure that we had all the zombies on screen. And basically, right when those cone heads appear on the screen, that's when you're wanting to use the plant food. I have one plant food left, and then blasting away. So really pretty smooth level. Just some slight setback. Hey TZ, what's going on? Welcome, man. Thanks for the hot date emote. I'm hoping that this run's gonna be hot, but it's pre-recorded, so I know what's gonna happen, but you guys don't. So again, I'm definitely excited to share this. There's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, and there's going to be some emotions. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, just jumping on to level 2. Basically, what we do here is we just sort of spam our fingers on the screen as fast as possible. Again, another reason why it's much quicker to play on an actual device, mobile phone or an iPad, than it would be to play on the computer. Cormac run spoilers. Spoiler, there's no spoilers. That's good. And yeah, I don't know why I think I was just a little bit off here at first. I want to make sure there's going to be a cone head that appears on the next wave that's right after, that appears right there in that middle row, and not having enough plant food to use both on the pea shooter as well as the cabbage pult. We want to make sure we have the potato mine loaded in that 4th row for the final wave. And yeah, looking pretty good here. Again, the goal times also reflect really what I believe is only possible on a faster device than a faster loading device than my iPhone. I think there's some slight lack of optimizations in iOS that mean that an Android device, an Android phone, would be probably the fastest that we could perform this on. So again, even though it shows as being behind the goal times, that was sort of with the assumption that we could get the fastest load times possible. But you know, it wasn't necessarily quite going to work out like that. You can see using the plant food on the weaker of the two blue meringues is the way to go here. Usually you like to, you know, usually I was a little bit unlucky here that the zombie with the plant food appeared in the middle. We like that usually to appear in one of the other rows, so I didn't quite get the RNG that I was hoping for on this level, so it's going to cost me, again, another couple of seconds. I remember my, World Keys Ancient Egypt being a little bit better than it was here. I mean, this still may end up being a gold split or pretty close to it, but I still feel like there's definitely some room for improvement here. Yeah, no, not quite with the gold split. We have to sort of endure these animations right here. So yeah, again, loss of just a couple of seconds there, but again, I'm hoping, you know, maybe at some point I might buy like a used Android device or something like that and sort of do the final test to see, like, you know, again, which of these devices, you know, are the fastest, and, you know, which makes the most sense to do a speedrun on, for sure. Hey, Bulba, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, I never posted in stream promo. Let me actually see. I might be able to do that live. Since it's a pre-recorded run, I can click outside the stream and do that. So yeah, let me do that. All right, so we got the posting there. Thanks for that reminder, Bulba. I do appreciate that. Right. I actually feel like I did, not quite between the levels, but the execution overall on this level I felt like was really strong. I really like the idea of using the zap first, then using three of the little ice power-ups, and if you're really lucky, if you're very precise like I was here, you can usually get it in that third power-up, so you don't have to go on to a fourth one. So again, yeah, very, very happy with the plan level. You can see I saved a significant amount of time over my PB, so that's looking good. Hey, Chaos, how you doing? How you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Didn't stay up too late last night watching the election results here in the U.S. There was, you know, a lot of talk that it was going to be, you know, it was going to take a while for them to sort of count a lot of the mail-in ballots. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to bed. We're not going to know today anyway. And turns out we didn't. Probably not even going to know till tomorrow. So that's very interesting. Hey, Oddball, what's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Yep, PvZ 2 streams are back. Yep. Again, this one is a pre-recorded run. I recorded this on Monday. Just playing it back here with some, you know, live, faster commentary. Again, PvZ 2 does take a lot of my attention where I have to, like, look down at the phone. It's, like, hard to engage with chat. So I may try a few more, you know, formats like this to see, to sort of see how things look. You can see a very important to place that potato mine right there in the fourth row, because it's basically guaranteed that the bucket head, or the bucket head that appears is going to be right there. You can see the timing was perfect. PvZ 2 Wednesdays. It works. We're pretty flexible here. Yeah. I do think that's worth it. Again, another very important potato mine to put right there in the top row. That can help move things along quickly. And you can see I normally like to put a walnut there in the middle row, which, yeah, I do here for sure. I'm still sort of like doing a little bit of experimenting with this level. Yeah, you can see here using a power-up here to take on actually both of those, and did manage to get a pretty nice 50% roll. But you know, again, the shields and things like that seem to make things make things a lot more difficult. But yeah, had definitely some problems there in the middle row. I honestly just forgot to place the potato mine there as quickly as I normally do, and I probably should have had one more cabbage pult in the second row as well. Just sort of had a little bit of a dip in the firepower there. Still a very fast level, and again, a massive improvement over my PB. But I do want to take some notes here and sort of see if there's an even more, you know, optimal strategy that I can use to make that faster. But that was one of the fastest AE5s that I've had. I felt pretty good about things overall. It's just, it felt like there was definitely maybe some room for improvement on the final wave. So we'll have to see. Hey, Super, what's going on? So it's like half tutorial, half like again. I already kind of did a PvZ 2 tutorial, although there's going to be some improvements there. But again, it'll kind of just be chatting, engaging with chat a little bit, and just kind of chilling out as we watch the recording here and watch some of the ups and downs that are inevitably going to happen here. I take a little bit of a chance. AE6 is one of the few truly non-deterministic levels that are in the run. So I was really hoping that, again, given, where the zombies had shown up that far. Again, this wave was a little slow, but you can see there I got that bucket head, and that's massive. That's a very, very important important thing to get. So I felt pretty good like that. Yep, exactly. Yeah, pre-recorded run with analysis and chat engagement, things like that. Yep. So that's exactly kind of what we're thinking. So I figure it's a good way to relax after a very exciting but not too exciting Tuesday night. I was just telling chat, Super, I ended up going to bed maybe at like 11 last night, just sort of figuring like, it was going to be a long time before we got the election results and stuff anyway, so there you go. You can see I actually got super lucky there with the bucket head. The potato mine that I'd used the plant food on earlier happened to land exactly in the spot to get that bucket head as quickly as I possibly could. So a little bit of luck there, but again, I did know that those potato mines would really come in handy. I really do like to use the plant food on the potato mines as much as possible. In this level, you can see right there with that bucket head, that's another very important one to try to save a potato mine and some plant food for as well. So. But also you want to save a potato mine or two for the final wave on top of that. So, like, this is actually a very hard level to sort of balance, exactly when to use the plant foods and the rest of that stuff. I sort of regret using that plant food, but you can see I had 3 plant food on screen, and, I obviously didn't want to lose any of it, so I think that made a lot of sense. Yeah, assuming, Arizona and Nevada don't pull anything in the last second, it should be a Biden victory, so... Again, obviously much, much closer than they were predicting the polls. And, obviously there are going to be some people that are going to be very happy about that and other people not so much. But, that's sort of what we thought. And, again, really fair and square when it comes down to it. So I feel feeling good. Hope PvZ 3 will be similar to PvZ 2. I'm hoping so, too. Like, if it had if it had more in common with PvZ 1... in terms of, like, the content being, kind of unlocked and in one batch and sort of a better balance between, like, mini games and puzzles and the survivals. Like, I really kind of like that format as opposed to, like, just raw, like, extra levels and things like that. Very small misclick right there. I meant to scroll over and click on Far Future, but instead I just kind of clicked once. Not a major setback there, but... I do like the non-linearity. I will say that that's one thing that was pretty cool. But I do wish that it had, at the very least, a defined beginning and end, right? Such that most of the levels you can play through non-linearly, but in order to, like, beat the game, like, there's a more clearly defined end that you need to reach, as opposed to, like, here where we just say, well, beat modern day and that's the end of the game, right? Like, that sort of feels a little bit unsatisfying from a speedrunning perspective. I also really hope they implement an in-game timer. That would be, like, man, that would be spectacular. That would solve, like, all the lag issues and things like that. Yeah, partial non-linearity, exactly. I think that would be terrific, right? Like, in theory, and if in any percent you could do, like, the roof and the fog and, the night and the pool, like, all in different orders, but then you didn't fight Zomboss till the very end until you beat all of them. Or something like that, and then maybe there was another grand battle, like at the end of 100% run or something like that. I think that would be very, very, very satisfying. So I am actually going to maybe write to them and see if we can get that in-game timer, because, the load times, I think, are something that a lot of us speedrunners have felt, I don't want to say frustrated with, but it does feel a little bit, like, unfair and annoying that different platforms have different times, and that, like, if you don't have a mobile phone, you basically can't compete in any percent for this level. And honestly, if you don't have an Android phone, the chances, once the game becomes super optimized, like, you know, everybody's probably going to need the same device because there are just some devices that like simply load faster, and we're not going to be able to afford the minute, you know, that like minute of time loss. I felt really good about that Far Future 1. I didn't mess up my my plant food for a change on that level, so looking pretty good. I think this is maybe the second best time I've ever had coming out of Far Future 1, and one of my best times coming out of Ancient Egypt 6, the World Keys as well. So, want a sun chip, bro? Sure. I'm a sun chip. Actually, I have a funny story about sun chips while we're just kind of cruising here on Far Future 2. So Sun Chips had advertised that they had 30% less fat. This was probably 10 or 15 years ago, but they had advertised they had 30% less fat than the leading chips. And they said leading chips, you know, have 10 grams of fat per bag, and Sun Chips have 6 grams of fat per bag. And so I'm sitting there with my friends, I think we're like at a Subway or something like that, and I'm like, you know, like 6 isn't 30% less than 10, it's 40% less than 10. So we're like, why wouldn't they just say 40, right? Or why wouldn't they give like the exact, like if there's a decimal, you know, why wouldn't they give the exact numbers? And so they said, if you have any questions about the nutrition, like call us here at Sun Chips and we'll answer, you know, we'll answer all your questions for you. So I legit give them, so we decided to give them a call. My friend was the one that actually had the balls to do it, but he gives them a call and he's like, hey, you know, like what, you know, like, you know, it says leading chips are 10 grams, Sun Chips are 6 grams. Like, what's with that? And she's like, oh, well, it's just rounding. And my friend's like, there's no rounding. 6 is actually exactly 40% less than 10. Like, there's no need for rounding there. And she's like, well, you know, you could tell, like, we probably weren't the first smart asses that had called with that particular issue, but nonetheless, we were sort of giggling to ourselves, and you know, this poor person that's getting paid to answer stupid people's questions like ours, you know, that's what she had to deal with. So anyway, that's what we get. Yep, yeah, so we got the vehicle right away, and that's very important on this level format. That's one thing I honestly wish that there was a little bit more reliability regarding, is just being able to get the I think they call it the shield zombie. Being able to get those right away on the final wave is really, really important. And so I think what the play is ultimately going to be is putting a potato mine in one of the rows where the shield shows up, and then instantly using a plant food on the pea shooter in the other row, so that you kill the shield zombie before it even spawns. I think that's ultimately going to be sort of what's the most important thing to do there. We do a few more sunflowers here at the beginning of Modern Day 3. We just need a little bit more, again, given how quickly we overrun the rows can get overrun. So. How much can loading times vary? It's honestly, it's pretty big. When I was playing on iPad, my loading times were about 6 seconds per level, and I noticed on Shiny's runs, it's about it's like 3 seconds. It's like 1 to 2 seconds per level, and on my iPhone, it's about 3 seconds per level. And again, not all levels are the same, unfortunately. So like, it's already like a little bit, you know, that there's some inconsistencies and so forth. But I really didn't want to do that in the top row, but yeah, you can see. I'm actually surprised that thing didn't get eaten, to be completely honest. Again, I was really not very prepared for these rows. I normally like to put the pea shooters because they're a little bit stronger. And again, this zombie I was not prepared for at all. I kind of wasted my plant food there, and you can see normally I like to have a plant food available for that guy right away, because the way the 50% rule works is it's only 50% of their hit points after they've lost their shield or their helmet. It's a very, very funky way to go about it. So yeah, it says right there, you have 30% less fat than regular potato chips, but regular chips have 10, and the Sun Chips have 6. So that's 40%. That's not 30%. So, so anyway, enough about Sun Chips. Again, I actually feel pretty disappointed about that Far Future 3. Again, a lot of mistakes that really kind of slowed me down. Probably the weakest level in the run so far, but again, still ahead of PB pace. Still feeling pretty good about the early levels. And I didn't click the next level button. I know you guys are going to be very proud of me for that one, but I didn't do it. I managed to X out and jump right into Jurassic Marsh as quickly as we could. So I could buy more plant food, but like it's $1,000, and like I really need that plant food for some of the later levels as well. So it's, and you know, obviously I didn't know like if there were, how many problems there were going to be in some of the later levels. So we'll see how close, we'll see how narrowly we use our money by the end of the level. I think it's going to be a pretty close call. Yeah, I deserve like 5 gift subs and 10,000 bits for not clicking next level. I'm pretty sure that's a first. Yeah. Again, pretty important to get your sun production up really quickly on this level. And then usually what I'll do is I'll freeze one of these, put the potato mine in a different row, and then, you know, that I'll usually have enough for another pea shooter by then. It's actually a little bit better if you use the pea shooter on the non-cone head, but I thought that I would maybe stall this wave out a little bit, just sort of given that I was feeling like a little bit behind on some of the sun production and some of the potato mines. Very important to try to use the potato mines in the third row. I've noticed that it seems more likely that that the first bucket heads appear in the middle rows, and you'll see that probably coming up here. Unfortunately, that potato mine gets wasted. That's one disadvantage. The potato mine and the blower do not synergize very well together. But you can see right there, yeah, that bucket head always seems to come in the middle row on the huge wave. So it is important to try to make sure you have a potato mine set up for him, or that you blow over him, as I actually get that other bucket head right there as well. So I'm actually feeling really good about this level. I've had decent blowover RNG. And I think I found a good balance between stalling and killing the zombies very quick. My gold time is a little bit unrealistic on this level because I had a plant food when I got the gold, so it's a little bit like I had the sunflower plant food back when we would use the Zen garden, but doing that. So yeah, again on the final wave here, use the potato mine, and then at this point, just use blowovers and any other remaining plant food you have on the primal walnuts. So again, another pretty good level considering I got a 241 without the use of the upgrade, the Zen Garden upgrade. I think really speaks well to how well that particular level went. Again, the only thing I think that could have gone better is that one potato mine that got wasted, but again, I'm really not too disappointed about how that went. And I didn't click the next level button. Yay, Warmech, let's go. So yeah, so there we go. Hey, Golden Pud, what's kicking? Yeah, PvZ 2 tasks again. If there were task tools available for it, I think that would be a lot of fun. I've noticed that the sun RNG is even more random on PvZ 2 than it is on PvZ 1. There've been some times where like the sun spawns immediately after I plant the sunflower, and then you can see like with this one, for example, it takes a freaking eternity for whatever reason. So I think it's very, very random, and if that could be manipulated in some way, we'd potentially be in much better shape. Yeah, and being able to use the blower, with 100% accuracy, I think would be a major advantage. You'll notice here that I'm not planting sunflowers in the middle row, and this is a lesson that I've learned over the last couple of attempts. Reason being that the first portal that opens is always in the middle row, so trying to get a potato mine or two in the middle rows is going to be very, very important. And here, yeah, just sort of using the walnuts, trying to. I mistimed that blower. I knew that wasn't going to work. That was not great. I thought I might get that one, but again, unfortunately, my blower timing has been a little bit shaky to start this level. So, and I was off again, maybe by a quarter second there from getting that top row. Yeah, you can see right here, again, very important to get that, and then, potentially even be ready to... What I really should have done was planted the iceberg lettuce here right after this raw zombie, because it's really annoying when you have this grave buster, this guy right here, that starts hitting you right away. You can see he managed to throw 2 graves before I even did like the first amount of damage to him, which is incredibly annoying. And then the third grave again, right in like the worst spot possible. So again, another reason why it might be important. And I maybe should be putting the sunflowers in the second row and the primal peas in the third row on this particular level. If I had to go back and do it all over again. Again, a really nice blowover there, but. I sort of feel myself getting a little bit overrun on this level. I've lost about 3 sunflowers so far, about to lose my 4th. And yeah, it's already not looking good. So I figured I would just let the top row and the bottom row, or in the 4th row, go. Kind of use my plant food, and then again, see if I can get a couple lucky blowovers to clean out the 2nd and 3rd rows as well. I wasn't 100% sure how the timing was going to be, and you can see I was actually a little bit off there, but I did have one plant food left over that I knew I would have to use on this guy, and then hopefully one more blowover to take care of him. So, again, not a perfectly smooth level, but overall pretty good, and again, I think maybe some very slight adjustments should be able to help me out quite a bit there, but I am feeling pretty good about that. And again, Modern Day 1 is another level that I think my gold time might have actually had the Zen Garden plant in it. So again, another gold that again is potentially very improvable. Very important to put the heart to favorite the primal walnut or any new plant the first time that you pick it. That's definitely something I had to get used to. Again, you'll notice here with the moonflower that this is another one that like the RNG, the sun RNG for it is like completely out of control. Like you'll notice neither of these have produced any sun yet, and it's not until I get my 3rd one basically that, you know, the first guy ends up producing his first sun, but sometimes like all it takes is like 2 or 3 seconds and you're already getting sun from them. You can see very close timing right there. I'm able to get the double. That's very important. So this is another one where again I think I could be a little bit proactive with that potato mine. I'm pretty sure that camel zombie always appears in the 4th row, so I just have to be a little bit more proactive with it. But again, I do like the potato mine that's in the 2nd row that we have there. I should have actually saved the iceberg lettuce. I forgot that the torch zombie comes quite this early. But again, with 2 primal peas in this row, I think it's gonna be okay. This top row is a little bit awkward. Didn't quite get that just perfect, but still ends up getting a kill. So I feel good about that one. Again, the top row is definitely a little bit more problematic, and I'm honestly wondering. You can see right here. I think I used the potato mine. You know, actually, I should have used the potato mine with the sunflower there. I think that was a small mistake. Right there when the octopus zombie appears, I think that's exactly the time that we have to do. And I also fell about 1 short. I have a ton of sun here, but not nearly enough firepower, and I can tell that it's hurting me. I forgot to fast forward again as quickly as I should have as well. Use lightning reed. Oh yeah, yep. Unfortunately, we get no lightning reed in this run other than the one level where it's given to us for free. Again, yeah, I keep kind of getting overrun. That is one disadvantage of the primal peas is that again we're kind of always falling behind. I meant to put the walnut there, and that was actually a very, very big mistake that I didn't put the primal walnut there. You can see I would have been able to hold them off and kill that garg as well. So as well as potentially dealing with some of the zombies that are in the portal there. So already I'm not feeling great about my execution on this run. I decided to basically hold off and just sort of let that 2nd row go. Again, an excellent use of the potato mine. Of the primal plant food with the blowover. You get a little bit of a bigger window there, and so it's a lot easier to do that. And again, I think letting that 4th row go is ultimately the play. So again, definitely not one of the stronger levels, one that I'm going to have to kind of go back to and work on some optimizations a little bit in the future, but still honestly kind of right there next to my goal time and things like that. So, again, I can't complain about that. If they're electrocuted, they don't drop the board. Yep, exactly. Yeah, so again, that is a very, very important mechanic. And yeah, I always hope that I get the shrinking violet very early on here, because otherwise that newspaper zombie can really start to kick some ass a little bit. Again, a little bit better to probably use the first snapdragon and the first lightning reed in the bottom row there to deal with that frostbite caves dude. I forget what he's called. I tend to give the piano guys just a little bit of space, because if you plant the shrinking violet right on the piano, it'll get destroyed before it takes effect. But if you plant it like a full square head, like you saw me do there, you'll almost always get the effect of shrinking violet without worrying about losing it. Here, I was just honestly worried about potentially losing the Snapdragon, and unfortunately I did. And I didn't have any carrots either, so again, already kind of, again, not feeling 100% about this one, but I think we're all right. You see here, yeah, very important to save one of your Shrinking Violets for this wave. Otherwise, these pianos can really kind of overrun you. So, again, yeah, just barely lost that Snapdragon again. I felt very annoyed that I sort of felt like I kept losing it. But again, I really wanted to save the plant food for the final wave. You can see saving the Shrinking Violet and having one plant food for the final wave allows us to do this really sick combo right here of shrinking them, and then you do enough damage from the Snapdragon to kill the Garg and the Frostbite Caves zombies. So again, a pretty good level overall, but again, I lost 2 of my Snapdragons and didn't have like, you know, maybe the greatest setup from the very beginning, so I felt like a little bit annoyed by that. Yeah, the Snapdragons, but again, they're one of the first area effect plants that you get that can affect multiple rows, so I actually think the Snapdragon is fairly well balanced in this game, and the plant food is very, very strong for the Snapdragon. As Super knows from his 1.6 run, which I might actually have as my next sub-goal, I want to say. Maybe I'll do a 1.6 run if I get, like, yeah, I don't know, some number of channel points in a certain month. Also, as a quick update, I am very, very strongly considering doing an all worlds run again over Christmas break, the week between Christmas and New Year's. So, for those of you that are very excited about our next all worlds attempt and hopefully a shot at the world record, that is almost certainly going to be happening between Christmas and New Year's. Format gives a vote for the 1.6 run. Again, you always get 3 imps in the same row. This isn't random. So basically what I do here, I save up for the laser beam. As you can see, I get great use of the potato mine right there. I want to make sure that I have about 2 or 3 laser beams by the time we get to this huge wave, and a potato mine, because you can see taking care of those neon mixtape zombies is super important. I felt myself running into a little bit of trouble in the second row. I just didn't quite have the sun production that I was hoping for. Again, very, very nice potato mine usage there, but already I'm sort of like, oh crap, you know, what are we doing here? And I had to make a decision which of the 2 zombies, and I actually used it too early. I should have waited one more wave to use the plant food there. Those guys have a ton of hit points. It's really, really annoying. I don't know if that one was worth it, to be 100% sure, because the neon mixtape zombie does protect the zombies that are in its shadow. So again, I definitely felt like I lost a lot of sunflowers. You know, I really just might need a better strategy for this level. I just don't like it. You know, it doesn't feel like we have the plants that are really necessary to play this level particularly well. So yeah. You can see here, this is a final wave that we absolutely let as many of the rows go, because usually, like, all the rows are kind of moving forward, and, you know, all you need to do for the final wave is basically, I knew I was going to get a plant food there, and then I could just zap this guy. I forgot that guy was protected, so I had to plant a couple extra plants here at the end. So, again, this was probably, again, the weakest level of the run, even weaker than, was it Far Future 3 I was complaining about. So, I definitely want to go back to some of my better times on that level and, sort of see what I did from an execution perspective that was that was better, and see again if I can develop a bit of a game plan to handle some of those waves more efficiently than I did. Hey, how you doing, Payday 2? What's going on, man? Welcome to PvZ Tuesdays. Even though it's Wednesday, we don't really talk about that too much, but that's about what we got. Again, this is a pre-recorded run. I recorded this on Monday, so yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens here. But again, you know, certainly off to a good start. I've made most of the improvements in the area that I want to. That imp in that top row is very important. Those imps are faster than the regular imps, so it's actually super important to make sure you give extra space if you're trying to kill it. Using a potato mine like that. Normally you need like between 3 and 4 squares rather than the typical 2 squares in order to deal with that guy. And how you doing, Eternal Darkness? I'm real glad to see you today. Welcome to the channel. Believe it or not, when these zombies get kicked, if you use the blowover at exactly the right time, I was just a hair late there, you can actually, yeah, right... Oh, I didn't quite get it, so right there. Wow, look at that. I got a triple kill from that blowover. That was an absolute beauty. I remember feeling like that was a massive difference maker. And again, right there at the beginning of the huge wave, it's so important to use the blowovers right then at the beginning of the huge wave. You end up dealing with those sarcophagus tomb zombies, whatever, coffin, ancient Egypt coffin zombies. You know, end up dealing with them really quickly. I did a really good job on this level, as you can see, of planting the potato mines too as quickly as I could, as well as getting a lot of really good hits with the blowover. They're not all perfectly timed. The blowover only has a very small window that it actually works. Yeah, the blowover is the most broken plant in the game, other than maybe the dust globber, which I think might actually be better than the blowover in a lot of ways. But yeah, the blowover primal combo you can see right here coming up on this guard is really like absolutely broken. Look at that, just blows them right off the level. Unbelievable. And again, using our lawnmowers on any of those rows that are close. Again, a beautiful gold split right here. I felt extremely good about this level. You know, the timing was excellent. So again, I really felt like that was a nice turnaround from the last two levels that maybe, you know, could have seen a little bit more improvement. Oh yeah, the blowover and the spring bean too. Yeah, that was a ridiculous one. Yeah, you could basically kill almost all the zombies on screen. I do like that they left in the primal walnut thing though, because again, that really helps these levels be. You know, there's an element of skill to that as opposed to the spring bean that was really just like truly broken. You can see I've adjusted my strategy a little bit here to put some more stuff forward on the sun tiles. I feel like that really it really does generate a lot of sun pretty early on in the level, and it basically lets me be a little bit more aggressive with some of my primal P placements as well. You'll notice I don't really plant anything in the top row, and that's because other than the potato mines, and that's because we're guaranteed to have the first portal of the level appear in that top row, and because we get the spinning zombies, the tornado zombies. I really want to make sure that I'm that I'm in good shape here for being able to deal with it as quickly as possible. Yeah, instant screen nuke, exactly. Yeah, that's broken, but the primal feels like, again, there's an element of skill, there's a cost to it. Yeah, you can see right here, I really want to be able to get these guys with every potato mine. I actually got a nice double kill right there. That felt real good. Yeah, like the new portal strats. I do too. Again, just basically trying to set potato mines as far in advance as you possibly can is a real, definitely a real benefit. I should have been using the walnut on the top row. I think I was a lot more focused on some of the other rows than maybe I really should have been. And I got really unlucky with a couple of blowovers there in the second row, but I am going to get rid of that dude, the wizard zombie. So, again, just didn't have enough firepower in row 2. I kind of blame myself, but I also feel like my RNG was really not the best. Oh, you can see there I got really unlucky with the first row. He, of course, decides to troll me and get the walnut that was supposed to hold off all the zombies until the final wave. So, again, really unlucky there, and I don't think I'm going to get that potato mine in the top row either. So, yeah, again, really unlucky with just a couple of things that could have gone ever so slightly differently on this level. It's still going to be a very good time overall, but I do decide to use one of my instants here just to clear out the zombies, because I was yeah, I felt like it was going to take a long time to deal with that. Again, I like my plan going into that level, but again, just a couple small RNG elements I think kept it from being excellent. So there you go. Yeah, what gives people feelings of power? Buddy status and actually pulling off the multi-kill potato mine. Yep, I've gotten triple kills with a single potato mine 4, and that feels real good. That feels really good. Both in PvZ 1 and in PvZ 2, where I'd say the skill for using the potato mine is actually very similar. They really didn't make very many mechanical changes to that particular plant at all. Other than the zombies being able to eat behind them, which is, you know, its own thing. Oh yeah, task potato mines, forget about it. Broken. This is another level where, again, they give you like a million imps to start the level, but again, it's pretty important to try to build up your defenses. This is a long 4-flag level, so, you know, again, I tend to be a little bit more maybe conservative here early on the level than I absolutely have to be, but, you know, I guess that's kind of how it goes. Oh, yeah, from this... Oh, by the way, you saw that potato mine that killed the octopus? That's not an accident. That octopus always shows up in that row. So if about 15 seconds in advance of that huge wave you plant a potato mine there, you'll always get him before he could throw his first octopus. So again, super, super, super important. That's one of the most important waves to remember in the entire run, because that octopus is like the difference between the level like really working out well and not. As again, you can see I have some blover struggles right here, and I felt like I was really short on sun as well. Really nothing working out in my favor. I saved this blover, again, knowing that there's going to be some of the kicking zombies. I get every single imp that they tried to kick forward. Again, another triple kill with that blover. Really, really nice. Again, I finally get that newspaper zombie who had been a pain in the ass for like the last like 3 levels. Actually, believe it or not, if you freeze that guy, oh, I get the guard too. Unfreaking believable. I was starting to feel really good about this run like right now. You can see I get not the best luck with that potato mine, but I did get one of the octopus zombies with it. Again, this level can really sort of spiral out of control very quickly. You know, if you don't have the right plants in line for it, but. You know, again, yeah, just a lot of crap early on. I maybe could have used a better blower there. Didn't quite time that just right. But again, you know, still feeling overall okay about our situation on this particular level. Didn't quite time that 3rd row just right, I don't think. I decided instead to focus, use my plant food in the top 2 rows, and then just let the 2nd and 4th rows go, because I knew it was going to take forever. Again, these guys are being very slow, but did manage to get a gold split in that level. So things that went right: excellent potato mine use, good blower use, preparedness for the final wave, and obviously a little bit of luck as well too. But that was by far, that's probably one of the strongest levels I think I've ever played in PvZ2. That level is really, really nasty, and the fact that I got like a 10-second gold I think should sort of go to show, you know, exactly how good you know, how good we should feel about something like that. Yeah, they're just speedy gargs. They really are. They have a ton of hit points. They eat like, you know, 10 times faster than regular zombies. They are just, they totally upgraded them from PvZ1 big time. On the match 3s, again, you have a choice about whether you want to use the fast forward button or not. Obviously, it means that the zombies appear on screen faster and eat your plants faster, but it also means that there's a little bit less time between each, like the time that the plants appear on screen is a little bit faster. So again, I feel very good about my match 3 skills in PvZ2, so I decide to use the fast forward button. You don't have to. It's probably only a couple second swing either way if I had to take a guess. So I'd say unless you feel excellent about the match 3, I would probably just play this on normal speed, but there is a little bit of an advantage to playing it on fast speed. But you can see the risk, as you can see from the bottom row, is that your plants are a little bit more likely to get eaten because you know, there's just, you know, the zombies are going to be appearing on screen a little bit quicker as well. So, you know, again, the trade-off wasn't quite right, and I should have upgraded to my watermelons and the cold snapdragon a little bit sooner. But, you know, I don't feel too bad about losing one row. It's really, I really don't want to lose that that first column. I really just don't want to lose that second column. That's kind of that's kind of the goal for sure. So. Yeah, so other than that, you know, again, just trying to, again, I do find this game much easier to play on mobile than I do on computer, because you don't have to, like, click and drag and do all that stuff. You can just kind of I actually use 2 fingers while I'm sort of looking for matches simultaneously. Like, if I see one over here, I'm already then starting to drag, like, the next one on the other side. So, again, I feel, you know, I feel pretty good there, and ended up getting a very nice match 3 time on that level. Feels good. Certainly feels good. Modern Day 9 is one of my least favorite levels in the run, and by least favorite I mean like sort of like not levels that are like hard and you know that they're hard and therefore, you know, they're a pain in the ass and you don't and you don't like them, but just that, like, the only offensive plant that we get is the Nightshade, and it's limited by its cooldown, and there's all these graves, and then there's the grave throwing zombies, and there's just all this crap to deal with, and I really just, this level just annoys the hell out of me a lot. So yeah, so there you go. What happened when you grab the coin bag at the end of March 3? Yeah, seriously. Yep. Yep, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, like, you know, in already, again, like, I've been planting, you know, the stuff as fast as I can. The balloon zombies, we have no blowover that we can use. Like, all of this just feels, like, super, super freaking annoying. So, I decided to use the Time Warp there. That's a little bit earlier than I normally use it, but I did see myself with a bunch of graves already on screen, and I really wanted a chance to, like, try to get some of those busted. I think I should try to focus a little bit more on those middle rows, which is where the grave-throwing zombies tend to appear. I don't think that they appear on the top or the bottom rows, at least not early on, but I might be wrong. This is another one that, like, if I was ever in a situation where I hadn't used any plant food, I honestly might use some plant food, like, you know, at some point or another on these levels. Like, you know, the weasels are super annoying. I almost always lose a plant or two as a result of the freaking weasels. You can see there I have to use a plant food, and I already lost 3 plants because of it. You know, again, I'm losing more. Like, I just hate this level. Like there's no really great strategy to it. You know, you just kind of like, you're just like, you know, trying to put the plants on screen as fast as you can and hope that you don't get like too many annoying grave placements. Like, it's really, really annoying. You shovel it up for the sun. Yeah, you could, but, like, sun really isn't a problem on this level, you know? So, like, you know, I'm really mostly limited by the cooldown of the Nightshade itself as opposed to, like, any kind of sun production. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, wisely stall the mowers for the final wave. You know, I think you might be right. And honestly, at this point, you can see I am starting to dig up some of the rows as well. So... yeah, again, I'm kind of at a little bit of a standstill. I should have been doing some digging a little bit earlier on this level. So, not a perfect level, but again, you know, within about 15 seconds of my gold split. So, I mean, I guess that's okay, but still a lot of room for improvement on Modern Day 9. Oh, the strats for sun plantless. Oh, okay. Okay, yep. I understand now. Yep. Yeah, so not necessarily for this. Again, give these guys a nice heart. This is the first level that we actually deliberately pick them. And then, yeah, going with the laser beam, just as a nice counter to, I think this is the chicken level. Look at that. Remember I was talking about the sun RNG? Did you see I planted that moonflower, and immediately it generated a sun? And there's some times where it doesn't generate sun until I've already planted my 3rd moonflower. So again, this is one of the, like, factors that go into the run that, like, just really don't make tons of sense to me, you know? Yeah, so you can release mowers early, but only if you have completed, I think it's Far Future 21 or 16 or something like that. You have to get really far into the Far Future levels, and obviously it's not worth it for an any % run. You can only launch up to 1 lawn mower. You see this one again. I wait just a little while so I can get a little bit of extra sun in time for our weasels. Of course, I get 3 weasels in the bottom row. Nice game. But again, yeah, that's why we try to put out as many laser beams as we can this early on. You see that potato mine? I don't know what exactly happened there, but I think it kind of got wasted. So again, this is also a known glitch on iOS. Sometimes if there's basically too many sounds that are going on the screen, the game will just stop playing some of the music and some of the sound effects, I think, in order to, like, save memory or something like that. And it doesn't get fixed until you reset the game, which again is obviously, like, very annoying and sort of decreases from the quality of the run, but it is a necessity for obviously, like, we can't afford to reset the game in between levels or anything like that. So there's going to be a couple of these levels where, like, there's just like tons of zombies, and we're just left in a situation here where we have to especially like on the huge waves and the final waves and things like that, we just sort of have to go without. I really should have dug up the middle row. I don't know what I was thinking there. I put a walnut down there. I don't know if I was waiting. That was really a big mistake. I should have been done this level. Oh, okay. I remember what I was doing. I was trying to save that all for the final wave. Trying to stall both rows at the same time. Yep, so running into, I remember, not feeling super good about this level either. Another one where I'm gonna want to, check out my gold split, for a little bit. And then this level again, I could have used another instant. But, I really honestly just didn't want to. Sort of felt like I wanted to conserve my money just a little bit. But again, another level where I'm maybe going to be about 10 or 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds actually off my gold split. So another level that I might look at my previous PB to sort of see like how I performed there and sort of where the execution was a little bit better for sure. All right. On day 11 is actually a little, it's a slightly easier level, I would say, compared to some of the other ones. We obviously have access to the poison shroom, a little bit early. Again, not very helpful not super helpful on its own, although a little bit helpful against like newspaper zombies. But also its plant food effect is like borderline broken. So definitely one that is well worth the power up, for sure. Yeah, Warbeck Garlic. Look at that handsome devil right there. You can see I love using the poison shroom right there, and then just a little bit of extra damage to just kind of, poke him down a little bit. And a true misclick right there, meant to, place that just a little bit in a different position. This is another guy. The piano zombies are a little bit tricky to deal with on this one, but kind of how it goes. Really should have been using the poison right away. Oh, I actually did get that. That was fairly lucky. I did not think that I was gonna get that on the fourth row there, but actually a good thing to keep in mind for future runs as well. The fact that synergy is actually pretty good. These football helmet zombies are like super tough to kill. You'll see I've been wailing away on this guy for like the longest time, and he still won't die. Very, very annoying. Not going to get a lot of value out of that lawnmower, but, what can you do? Tell you all the details of Lane Diversion. You listen to all of it. I would too. No question. So very happy with the potato mine I used there. And then just nice plant food right on the poison shroom. Use a plant food upgrade there, although honestly I maybe should have used it in the top row. I think the top row was a slightly bigger threat than I'd originally estimated for sure. This guy was being super annoying as well. Maybe should have just let him go from the very beginning, but I thought that I'd be able to do enough damage to him. Sort of right at the line there of where, kind of could have let him go versus not. So not thrilled about the final wave, I would say, on that one, but the rest of the level went pretty smoothly, and usually that level does not pose any kind of significant risk of death. There just aren't that many fast zombies aside from the zombies. Sure. Pretty wacky. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, for sure. For sure. Yeah, gold magnet is in the game, yeah, and the cob cannon. So yeah, they definitely nerfed some of our biggest sources of firepower, things that would really help. Modern Day 12 is not a level to be effed around with, for sure. This is the one where you can only lose you have to lose no more than 10 plants, and that includes instants, anything, the poison, any of that stuff. You can't lose any of it. So you can see there's a lot of stalling early on as I start to build up my sun collection a little bit. Again, with only 6 seed slots, we're really not in the most favorable position here. PvZ 2C run, yeah, I might You know, it is tough. I do have a lot of goals for speedrunning, and certainly I want them sort of all to have, you know, pretty good, equal, you know, all kind of get the attention that they deserve. So again, I can't make any promises, but you know, I do have a couple runs coming up here. I got really unlucky with that frickin' dinosaur right there. That was unbelievable. I felt like I had to use that that plant food as early as I did. Maybe could have reacted a little bit differently there, but again, still not feeling 100%. Again, very important to get lasers in any rows that have chickens. That's really the whole reason that we take the laser beam on this level, is just again for that purpose. Very interesting mechanic there. If that guy digs up the potato mine, he automatically grows to maximum size. So again, yeah, very cool mechanic there. You know, that I think is definitely worth considering for sure. Again, I only have 3 plants left, so you can see I'm sort of in a definitely like a, you know, not looking to F around very much. I do plant a potato mine there. You can see I make great use of it right there. And then at this point, I'm like, oh boy, and I'm like, you know what? Like let's just use the instant. Let's not mess around. There's always going to be a Garg in that top row. So again, important to be as prepared as you can for him. But again, you can't use that many potatoes because each one counts as losing a plant. So again, overall, I feel very good about that level. I felt good about it the last couple times that I've played it, but it definitely gets definitely one of the more difficult ones, I would say, for sure. Impossible without leveling. Proactively rather than reactively using the instance. Yeah, so on that level, I definitely think so, and I already am at that point on some of the levels where I'll proactively put a potato mine if I know for sure that there's going to be a really difficult zombie in one of the rows or others. I actually didn't have to lose that that plant there. This is actually the most difficult of the match 3s because we have to get all the way up to 150. So again, this is maybe one level where I shouldn't necessarily use the fast forward button, but I do feel like it's pretty fast. So you know, I'm sort of, I definitely feel a little bit torn about sort of what the best play is. Yeah, oh yeah, it would definitely be riskier because, you know, again, some of the zombies are deterministic and some are not deterministic. So you'd really want to like map out, you know, every single zombie in every wave, which ones are deterministic, how far in advance you can safely plant it in the row. And I do think that we'll get to the point where we probably do that on a regular basis, but I don't think we're there just yet. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of how it goes. Do I think I'll ever do that? I'll say maybe. And honestly, if this game had made games done quick, I really would have devoted that time to try to get like every single wave mapped out that I possibly could, and sort of try to do some more like evidence-based testing on which strategies work the best for which waves and things like that. So I do think that we'll get there. Oh yeah, 2,000 word thesis, exactly. We could do it though, you know. We already know, you know, like generally what zombies appear in what rows, but figuring out what lanes they appear in, what rows they appear in, and how best to proactively manage those, that's sort of like, you know, the beauty lying in the details and so forth. So maybe you can make a GDQ hotfix. It might. It very well could. You know, PvZ1 already did, obviously, and that's so that's very cool. So I'm thinking maybe we might be able to get it for, you know, one of the like Time Capsule Tuesday events or something like that. So yeah, again, I think that would be a great first step. Yeah, again, already we're experiencing the sound glitch again because we have the level's gone on pretty long, and you know there are a lot of zombies on screen. This is something I'm going to talk to the other mods about whether we want to allow for a rule to allow a reset of the console to fix the sound glitch or not. The console in this case just being like my app. I really think that like the speed, you know, it gives the runner no competitive advantage at all. And, you know, again, like having the sound there is better for the verifiers. It's better for the runner, better for the viewers, things like that too. Hey, Air Salad, what's going on? I've been enjoying watching and lurking on some of your streams recently, so I'm kind of glad you're back in the PvZ swing of things here. That's really great, man. easy to splice being the challenge. Perhaps, perhaps there might be a way to do it in the middle of a level that would make splicing more difficult. And if you have to show like your constant screen display or something like that, that's sort of the only thing that I worry about. I would just hate, like, if I do a hundo run, I really don't want the sound glitch, like, ruining basically like every single level. And particularly if I'm on a really good pace, I'm going to be less inclined to reset than I would. Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll definitely get that sub 2 very soon. Yep. I think it takes everyone a couple of runs to get there, but yeah, you'll get there real soon for sure. Yeah, so we'll have to talk about it and sort of see, like, what makes the most sense. I really should have done that a lot sooner on that top row. Actually got really lucky there with the guy that got hit being the Buckethead. Again, really you want to spam the Shrinking Violet and the Poison Shroom as fast as you possibly can. These guys are super annoying, and unfortunately we can't take the Blover here. Otherwise I certainly would, but oh yeah, get your Warmech Garlics in chat. You can see the Garlics are really making a name for themselves here, for sure. So looking pretty darn good. And the Shrinking Violet actually instantly kills imps. That's a very cool mechanic that I didn't really realize when I played through the game casually, but is definitely something to take advantage of in the speedrun for sure. Yeah. There's that handsome garlic there. I actually do like that one. It's pretty good. I wasn't sure whether to like model my emote after the PvZ1 or the PvZ2 garlic, but they both sort of have their own charm in different ways. And very important to get that Shrinking Garlic out right in that middle row. Warmech right in that middle row. Thank you. And then, just making sure you get, like, tons of firepower in the middle as quickly. That's mostly just to stall him so he doesn't, kill your plants. Yeah, and looking good. Really looking good, Again, I feel like I'm at a good pace here. That was a nice gold split, so I'm feeling nice about that. Regardless, it is a handsome garlic. It's true. He looks a little bit brighter in this version maybe than he does in PvZ1, but it's sort of, it's sort of hard to say. I've described it before as the garlic's the guy that you're not necessarily gonna try to pick him to be your to be your scientist, to be your expert, to be your PhD, but he's the kind of guy you want to go have a beer with on a Friday afternoon. So that's where the garlic's at. Hey, McLovin, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, we have pre-recorded PvZ2 run here. I did this on Monday. Just trying to provide some commentary over it, answer chat's questions, things like that. So this level is a little bit pesky for sure. There's sort of lots of the Primal Walnut does not have nearly as many hit points as some of the other zombies for sure, and you always want to be very prepared with having a Blover for every wave as well. So So again, I do love PvZ2. I've really kind of been bitten by the any % bug. Looking to improve my PB and kind of improve the world record times by as much as we can. So what can I say? It's actually the cannons get countered by the Blover as well. So Blover basically confirmed broken. No doubt about that one. I unfortunately lost that guy there. I was a little bit worried about the number of plants that were kind of munching away on that dude in the bottom, and again, unfortunately, losing my potato mine there was really bad. I thought I was going to be able to get this Garg, without use of anything else, but luckily I do stall him out just enough, such that you can see I actually kill the cannon in the middle row, and then already have enough damage to be able to just take out everywhere. This final wave was unbelievable, like truly as good a final wave as you could possibly have, as you could possibly ask for. So, I don't know if that's something that we'll be able to depend on much in the future, but that final wave was like truly spectacular. definitely saved the level from the shenanigans that we had in that next define. All right, modern day 16, just the level that can die and burn in whatever fiery place you believe in, because it's just I've never been able to beat this level without using at least one instant. I truly don't think that it's possible. Maybe if you go like, so slowly, right, that like, God, I don't even know, like, how could you even go slower than we do on this level? It makes me wonder, but yeah, just kind of a really nasty situation to be in for sure. Trying to get a 213 on Zombie Aquarium. Any tips for that one? Pray to the sun RNG gods that the zombies spawn sun quickly. That's definitely a level where it is affected quite a bit by sun RNG. The zombies do not spawn the sun at even intervals after you first play them. So definitely use a timer as well. Like, when do you get your 4th zombie? When do you get your 6th? When do you get your 8th? And just be very willing to reset runs that sort of don't live up to that standard. Very important what I do right here. You see how there's a potato mine in that top row? That is because I know that I'm going to get the what you call it? The neon mixtape Garg there with the electric guitar, and that thing is a real jerk. It'll kill your plants later, farther down in the row. You lose the winter melons. You really lose just about everything. So, yeah, so those things, I try to save a couple of instants so that I can kill them as quickly as possible. Look at this. I get 2 Gargs in the same row. Like, why? Why does this happen to me? Hair metal Garg. There you go. Yep. I should actually know all of the plants and zombies names, but I'll admit some of them are just a little too out there. There's so many different kinds of zombies in this one that it actually is fairly hard to memorize, or at least for me anyway. So, yeah. See here, things slowing down. Always trying to make sure I get the best value that I can out of each cob cannon. We can actually say hi to the cob cannon right here. No one's redeemed him. Really a pretty strong feature on this level. So, yeah, so we got that one, but looking good here. Oh, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you can see the hair metal Gargs are really kind of kicking my ass here. So, yeah. Again, that 4th row just got, like, freaking littered with zombies, man. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, not doing nearly as much damage to those as I would have wanted, but... Oh yeah, the robot zombies are not much better either. Really, not much fun at all. I thought I might be able to beat this level without any additional instants, and I was right. So I actually only used 2 instants on that level, which is far better than my average. I don't know how I got a 326 on that level. That feels like super unrealistic. Legit never seen the grape. It's only it only appears in a couple of the levels, and it's a premium plant. Yeah, but it's very good. It's basically like a cherry bomb, only the grapes like bounce around, and so you can actually hit. You can potentially hit zombies in all 5 rows with it, and all across the map. So it's actually very it's a very helpful one for sure. Alrighty. And again, modern day 17 gives us a little bit of breathing room. It's really nice, on these levels. Once we have the Dust Globber, it sort of feels like a bit of relief, like a bit of a bit of a sigh of relief for sure. But And yeah, what I try to do first, I try to see where these zombies are going to be, and if they're in a row like that, that'll determine where I plant my first, Dust Globber. Actually, really happy with the play here as well. You can see after this guy, pushes the arcade forward a little bit, you can usually slip in a Poison Mushroom if you want, or whatever else. The Dusclobber definitely does a good amount of work to him, but you really need that little extra burst that you get from the Poison Mushroom as well. Again, the Blover, again, really showing its work here. Those balloon zombies can be a gigantic pain, but you know, we're not in too bad a shape here. Also helps us get very fast 50% rules. The Blover does, absolutely. Really should have used a Poison Mushroom on this guy. You can see, unfortunately, I don't quite get the RNG that I was hoping for there, but here I'm like, you know, I thought I was going to be able to get the upgrade there, but I didn't. And I'm going to save one. I'm going to save one plant food just for whatever the final zombie is that appears out of the portal, which is normally after I've already killed all the zombies in the final wave for sure. I actually used the plant food a little bit too early there. Should have waited just one more wave, but honestly, it didn't matter. Not a very big deal. So yeah, again, another very smooth level. Really can't complain much about the time. I see here what I do is I refresh. I then click on the Dusclobber, which deselects it, but then I can add it to my favorites and then re-add it. So that's a very small micro tip that I would say kind of, you know, adds, you know, just saves a little bit of time from like scrolling down and trying to select it and doing the favorite and that whole thing. You kind of get to take advantage of the refresh mechanism, you know, at the same time as whatever else. So, been pretty good. And I do like, I could have planted that potato mine one square farther forward. I don't know if that was just a simple misclick or if it was something else. But so I want to do some nice damage to this. Again, a nice Blover should take care of this guy. And again, yeah, the Dusclobber really works great against these surfer zombies. Super, super nice. The area effect is really great. Important to make sure you always have 2 plants available for these for the mechanical bull zombies. They're definitely a helpful one. My favorite one is the poison, because you can actually poison the zombie right afterwards. So that's a nice little addition. You see, this guy had to wait because there was a zombie that was in front of him, so I had to kind of move it a little bit farther forward than I otherwise would have liked to, but. Yeah, again, you know, this is not one of the more difficult levels, I would say, but, yeah, again, using some plant food on the Dusclobber at the very end is good, except he happened, for whatever reason, to miss that newspaper zombie, but we cleaned that right up with the, with the lawnmower. So, again, definitely, I'd say one of the top 5 strongest levels in the run, for sure. I felt very, very, very good about that one. I felt every wave was under control, and the execution was really spot on. Hey, Neku, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, welcome back, my friend. I hope you've been doing well. Hope quarantine life has been treating you okay these days, you know? I've been sort of toying with an interesting strategy for this level, and you guys will have to let me know what you think, but I'm basically going to I've basically started considering using the escape route as an instant, as opposed to something where I can, like, move a bunch of the plants, like, between the rows and things like that. It's not necessarily ideal, but it does seem like it helps. Like, it arms pretty quickly, and it's pretty fast, and, you know, it sometimes can really help me get rid of some of the, like, super high hit point zombies, which, unfortunately, this balloon zombie is, like, a royal pain in the ass. Like that one right there, right? That Buckethead would have taken forever to deal with, and now I'm just like, oh, okay, no big deal, no big deal. Easy peasy. You see here I have the coconut cannon, again, prepared for whenever the newspaper zombie... Usually if you use it right when he loses his newspaper, you can then instantly kill him. But if you use it earlier than that, it's not necessarily going to be good enough. Fortunately, I get some really bad RNG there. I thought actually I was going to be in a better spot for that row, but you can see I luckily the escape route arms quickly enough to take care of him. I was hoping we'd get an arm quickly enough here, and we did, and that was nice. Unfortunately, only a potato mine. I don't know if there's other factors that affect like which of the instants you get, but yeah, again, just kind of using some of the instants here, and really maybe should have dug up my my primal piece here. But instead, what I do is I have an instant, so I just or I have a plant food, and just decide to, you know, buff up the next escape route that I get, and use that as an instant arc. So again, feeling pretty good about that strategy. It was very close to a gold split. I don't know quite how far off my gold I was there, but definitely felt good. Election is an outsider and have to say it's very entertaining. I would not say it's entertaining for those of us here in the United States. No matter, you know, where you are in the political spectrum, you've got to be feeling some emotional ups and downs. You know, if you're a fan of Joe Biden, like, you know, you thought it was going to be a blowout, then it looked like Trump was going to win for a little while, and now it still looks like Biden's going to win, but it's going to be contested, and that's not going to be good for anybody. You know, and yeah, obviously if you're a Trump fan, you know, you have to not be feeling very good about these last couple of states as the results come in, and it's just it's not been great, man. I got to tell you, it's been very anxiety producing, and you know, again, those of us that, you know, do care quite a bit about politics, I would say, you know, it doesn't leave us sort of feeling great about the state of the democracy. But that said, again, I do have faith in, you know, the American people and, you know, humanity kind of, you know, coming forward in the end. And I don't think that, you know, we're a nation where, you know, certain intolerances are the norm. You know, unfortunately, I think for some people, certain behaviors have been normalized in the last 4 years, and I really hope that's something that that can be reversed. So that'll sort of be my comments on the election. You know, for you know, lack of other things. But again, this is another level I really should have had a potato mine prepared for this guy. Yeah, you can see there where it sort of, you know, sets me back by quite a bit. And I decided to use an instant there just because I was doing so well on money. I'm like, you know what, like, I could save like 20 seconds there or so, like, just by using this instant. Feels worth it. You know, but I wish I didn't have to, for shade. Yeah. Oh, 6 a.m. every day. Yep. Thought it was over for Biden, yeah, but it seems to be going pretty well for him now. It does, you know, as these last couple of states are coming in. Again, I have relatives in Michigan that have said, you know, like it's been crazy out there. You know, a friend in Nevada, relatives in Arizona. So again, in North Carolina actually. So like really all of the states that and my wife lived in Pennsylvania for a long time and has a bunch of friends there. So like all the states that it's coming down to, like we have really close ties. We have really close ties there. So. Again, I'm really hoping for the best. You know, again, I'm just, you know, I just want, you know, some of the hatred and bigotry and intolerance and you know, white supremacy and you know, some of that horrible stuff that we've had to deal with for the last 4 years. Like I just want it. I want it axed. I want it gone. I want it shown that, like, that is not what America stands for, right? Like, it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're naturally a more liberal or conservative person. By the way, that football zombie, a very important play. I really have to remember to do that on future waves as well. I also need to make sure I have a nightshade behind to be able to deal with these guys, because they're a royal pain as well. The Monster Ray Vega Ludi Party. I won't quite go there, but there is a guy. What's his name? Oh God, some crazy guy like that runs for office every time. I'm gonna see if I can't believe I can't remember his name. Vermin Supreme. Vermin Supreme. Look up Vermin Supreme. He unfortunately lives or was born less than an hour from my house here in Massachusetts. So that's its own thing, right? But he is the equivalent of like the America Crazy Supreme Party. So yeah, so there's that. By the way, this modern day 21 is not cool. This level I really want to work out some of the strategies for. Again, I had some really good uses of the potato mine, but you can see I ran out of sunflowers. I have nothing to stop that bottom row there at the end. So there's a lot of stuff that I really I really wanted to to try and deal with that we didn't quite get there. Oh, you know him. You live in Mass. Yep. I've actually seen him live. I lived in New Hampshire. Well, I live in Mass now, but I lived in New Hampshire for a while. And he would always come campaigning in New Hampshire. He'd always be on the ballot and all that stuff. So I don't know why I did that as opposed to. I guess I really did need to get both of those rows. Again, another very weak level, one that I really want to try to work out offline a little bit. I think it's there. Seems like you're a sort of guy. Oh God, he's he just. Ugh, goodness. Yep. Again, I don't think we need more trolls in politics. I think we need more scientists. We need more evidence-based decision-making, and that applies on both sides of the political spectrum. You know, we need facts and evidence, not crazy people. But that's I know that's wishful thinking. So anyway, that's what you got. So anyway. Anyway, so again, on to another match 3. This is one of the shorter of the match 3s, only 75 matches long. I'm usually able to complete this in a pretty good time. I've had some very excellent times, and actually theorized that a near 1 minute time might even be possible if I played like absolutely perfectly on this level and got a little bit of good RNG. I can already see here I'm missing, I missed some really good doubles and stuff that I maybe could have had, but. You know, but that's what you get. So, again, not even really worth doing many upgrades other than the watermelon. And again, another really nice time here. Anything in the 120 range, I consider to be excellent, and yeah, certainly that's exactly what we had going into that modern day 22. So. Again, the sound glitch is definitely getting a little bit annoying, but you know, that's kind of what we got. And again, one plant that even early on when I was speedrunning, I didn't value as much as I should have, but the Grimrose is really, really strong. It's really strong. I think it should pretty much be taken in just about every level from here forward, I would say. Yeah, def chat about the sound glitch thing. I want something that's fair, Super, and your point's definitely taken about wanting to avoid splicing and things like that. But, you know, like if it was done in like the middle of a level, right, and then when you reload the game, you could continue from the middle of the level. Something like that might be fair without a major impact on the runner, you know, while still making a better like viewer experience too. So. And again, it could be that I need to change platforms again. I wanted to run it on my phone, but again, if that's just not a platform that is conducive to, I think it's an iOS thing, right? Because I don't see this happening to the people that have done even longer runs on Android and stuff, but you know, that's kind of how it goes. Again, the Grimrose's value is going to be shown right here. Look at that insta kill for the octopus zombie. So. Again, I remember this level actually. I forgot to take the I took the Nightshade instead of the Dusklobber. I don't know what I was thinking. I end up getting actually a pretty good time here, all things considered. Yeah. Yeah, more glitches, and yeah, the runs, yeah, it's slower and more glitchy on tablet as well, so that's kind of, that's sort of its own thing. I could have used an instant here. I had, like, no sun left, right? The octopus zombies were being very mean to me. I do decide to use a Grimrose to just deal with that row, but I do decide to let them go. Didn't get an incredible time here. I do think that this is a gold that's improvable. I should be able to get a 2-minute time at some point on that level, but yeah, you know, feeling you know, very mediocre. That is a hard final wave though. You get 2 Gargs and just not enough like instance and damage dealing plants to be able to deal with it effectively. Again, just a total misclick there. Just no need to do that at all. Should really keep the Dusklobber in the back, but not a huge deal. So Samsung tablet could be good for running this game, absolutely. Yeah, again, where it does run on Android, that should have faster loading times. However, I did notice that that even my iOS tablet has longer loading times than my iOS phone. So what I wouldn't want is to get a Samsung tablet and to find that it has faster load times because it's on Android, but slower load times because it's a tablet. I think it's really the Samsung or the Android phones that get the best use there. By the way, a very, very important potato mine to use that I really want to make some notes on for future things. So anyway, I really should have dealt with that guy a little bit more quickly, but again, I did a nice job at getting the Grimrose in there. Grimrose, again, a great counter to the piano zombies, great counter to the football zombies, the octopus zombies. I mean, really, just about everything other than the guards for sure. Get a lot of footballers on this one. I decided to let this one go. I felt like I might be able to time that just right to be able to deal with that wave, but yeah, unfortunately, the final wave kind of sneaks up on me. It would have been maybe a little bit more helpful to like stall him and then just let him get cleared out right there in the final wave. So I don't know why I should have dealt with that a little bit differently and probably started digging some stuff up a little bit sooner and push the fast forward button a little bit sooner than I did as well. I want to save up for one more Grimrose and see if I could deal with things that way. But yeah, again, a pretty good level, I would say. Just again, a couple of misuses of the lawnmowers, and again, I wasn't totally happy with my plant food usage there either, but you know, that's how it goes. One level that I've sort of struggled with, I've tried a lot of different strategies on this level, and I feel like the strategy that I use here overall is the best. I do think the butter is actually, if we could get some Warmech butters in the chat, the butters are the most helpful for the early plants to restore. Just because, again, they can slow things down, they can let you get more stuff on screen. And then, again, I tend to go with the fume shrooms and these sort of inner fat beets that we have here. But you know, it's a bit of a mixed bag for sure. I just love that Warmech butter remote. It's just truly encapsulates everything that we know and love about the stream. Honestly, in some ways, these what do you want to call them? Not vaulting, right? But those bungee zombies are a giant pain in the ass. See there, yeah, I didn't really make great use of the plant food there. I think I could have done much better. Yeah, I couldn't get that guy either. So again, I unfortunately had to use an earlier lawnmower than I was really hoping for, and I lost a lot of plants in the top row. So maybe there's a way that I can, you know, try to make that a little bit better, but you know, sort of hard to say. Again, yeah, I'm really running into trouble in that second row. You can see they just like rushed, you know, really to the last possible thing. So I'm like, oh goodness, you know, and now I'm like, I really have to use an instant there. I didn't want to, but again, this level I'm definitely going to have to work out a bit more offline. I had 2 plant foods that I didn't use. I honestly wonder if, like, right as the final wave appears, if I should use an instant on the butter, and then maybe another instant on one of the fat beets or something like that, because like that level can really kind of get out of control. It wasn't a bad time, but I did have to use an instant, so it's like, does not feel super good. Modern Day 26 I don't mind too much, but again, it's another one where the football zombies can really start to overrun us a little bit. So I think if I'm going to work on any section, I honestly might work on this section a bit, and you know, some of the other individual levels that sort of gave us problems before I try my next any percent attempt, because again, the footballs I felt less prepared for, and I do feel like most of the footballs are deterministic. They do often run in the same rows as we have there. Again, another very important thing to do here is making sure that we have a Moonflower in this row so that we can use the Grimrose. We can use the powered up Grimrose, because that's a very important one as well. Maybe should have used the Blover a little bit earlier than I did here. I wasn't totally sure what to think. As you can see, I have a lot of forward plants here just to sort of help deal with some of the footballs and stuff. I kind of knew that was coming. I wish I had one more Grimrose I could have used in the 4th row and sort of just left the 3rd row to something else, but I felt like I had a lot of sun problems early on this level, and then later on in the level it kind of didn't catch up, you know, exactly to my needs. So we'll see. again, yeah, we do get a Garg zombie here for this huge wave. And again, I really should have dealt with that football zombie. That was a big mistake to let him go, I think. And again, yeah, not a lot to do against the hair metal zombie. And again, I wanted to slow that guy down as well. I think I decided to use an instant there. I don't know if I totally love the decision, but yeah, again, it felt maybe okay. Again, got a lot of those zombies were like inches from death, just as we're kind of heading into the final wave here. So maybe could have timed that a little bit better, but there's a lot of Gargs on this level. Again, it's not a hard level by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, again, between the hair metal zombies and the rest, it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do here? So I wanted to do just enough damage to this guy such that he threw his imp, and the imp hit the lawnmower pretty quickly. So you can actually see nice sort of sync to end that level. But I still feel like there's definitely going to be some room for improvement there. Sure. Alright, and I think this is the last of our match 3s. This one's a little bit... even though it should be more difficult because it's 100 matches, it ends up going pretty quickly because I think there's actually one fewer type of plant that could be matched here. You can see I accidentally bumped my phone's screen here, so, so we'll have to see. But usually the first plant I'll upgrade, you can see right there, is the Snapdragon. Really slowing down the zombies is about as good of an advantage as you can possibly get. It basically assures that we don't lose any of the zombies in any of the rows, and can, again, just kind of keep our plants alive as long as we can. There's no watermelon or wintermelon to upgrade here, so, you just have to do your best. But again, yeah, overall, this level generally goes pretty quickly. Again, I didn't get a lot of luck here, if I recall, with getting some doubles, again, aside from that one double that I literally got right there. But, it ultimately, I find myself usually getting a little bit luckier with this. I actually I missed a triple there, actually. That was not my finest moment. So again, yeah, not bad by any stretch of the imagination for the match 3 levels, but I usually hold myself to a little bit of a higher standard, particularly with this one where it is on the easier side, I would say, of the match 3. But and 135 or so still isn't a bad time at all. So again, I can't complain. Another level that I used to feel more, was a little more difficult, and I still feel like we maybe haven't totally optimized the strategies just yet for this level. I do think the Blover strat is going to be a good one for this level, but I don't absolutely know with certainty that it's like the most optimal necessarily. So I guess we'll have to see. Again, really, like, your goal here is just to plant stuff as quickly as you possibly can. There's a lot of football zombies, so you really need a lot of plants to kind of block them off a little bit. I think I actually ended this level with maybe a little bit too much sun, so I think I could have been a little bit more aggressive in some of these earlier levels, but there's actually no particular reason that I'm ignoring the top row here. I actually should have planted that potato mine in a slightly different spot. I wanted to save the first blower for after the little pirate guys, the little parrot thing came out to get us, but not too bad. I try to save some of the back rows because, again, those little imps, the little exploding imps, can really get shot pretty far back. I really should have used another blower right here before losing that. I don't know why I didn't. I probably just didn't see it, to be completely honest. But a couple of nice little bit of good blower RNG here, I would say. Kind of keeping some of the zombies off the screen. And yeah, setting us right up for the final wave, just as we're kind of creeping in on 3,000 suns. So yeah, again, honestly, I think I do feel pretty good about this strategy overall. Again, I got decent luck, I would say, with the blower RNG, but maybe could have dealt with this final wave a little bit better. But again, yeah, still a strong level overall, and might be close to a gold split. know if it's quite going to be there, but yeah, well, there you go. We take those. We take those. Hey, Barry, what's going on? Yep. So this actually is a pre-recorded run. No luck is required, except to my past self. But yeah, I do appreciate you tuning in today. We're getting real close to the end of the run, and we're a minute ahead. So I gotta say, like, the money situation is pretty good. So again, if we don't screw up modern day 30 and 31, and if we get decent RNG on modern day 32, 33, and 34, this is going to be a really, really close one. This is going to be very, very close. I actually sort of regret doing this, because this level, again, it ends up being a little bit challenging. So I wanted to stall out this first wave, but I think I maybe could have done just a little bit more stalling. It's kind of hard to say. A 149 is on the table. You'll see best possible time is actually 147, but that would be with first try Zombosses on all 3 of the levels. And obviously, gold splits on the rest of these, some of which basically require using an instant for. So, so I feel, it feels, I really have to remember that I have to save a blower for this wave, as well as they're sort of kicking some of the zombies on screen. Again, very important to have something to counter that football zombie. He can be a real problem with all the graves that appear in the middle row as well. But again, this level definitely went worse, I think, in my last attempt than it did here. You can see trying to use the blower at the right time. Ends up getting pretty good value out of it. Unfortunately, the kick there, I got some pretty bad RNG on that. But again, it's something I have to be prepared for. And again, as this guy comes in for the final wave, it ends up not working out perfectly. It would be a lot nicer if we had if some of those Gargs were cooperative and appeared in some of the other rows. But I think the Gargs are among some of the predetermined waves that are out there. So I really should have just been digging this up at this point. I thought I might be able to save a little bit of time if we got the imp, but turns out, really all gonna be about the same. And again, save just a couple of seconds on this level as well. So, not looking too bad here. Actually, that's one of the levels where, like, there's a very awkward split time, so I'm not quite there. Again, up against a gold on modern day 30. By far the hardest level in the run, and arguably the hardest normal level in any PvZ run that's out there. The zombies aren't allowed to cross the flowers. We get Gargs. We get newspapers. We get flying, exploding imps. Did I say footballs? It doesn't matter. This level has it all, and it's really, really unforgiving. There's almost no way to get this level to turn out exactly the way that you want it to. So you'll see we obviously try to get our sunflowers out. We try to stall the zombie. We try to put potato mines right on the flowers, because that's actually a very nice counter. It does not count as crossing the flowers if they get blown up by a potato mine that's on the flower. So anyway, that's how it goes. This guy, again, we actually stall. We have plenty of sun for the blower, but again, I decide to hold off just a little bit until the next wave appears, and then blow it there. You can see really the purpose of these ice rooms is actually a counter to the football zombies. I really just try to plant as much stuff on the screen right there in those rightmost 3 columns as I possibly can. So here maybe could have used the potato mine a little bit sooner. Yeah, you can see again a little bit of bad RNG there. And again, a really lucky blower there. That was actually a level changing blower that I got that newspaper zombie. That could have been a real problem for us, no question. Not using the blowers maybe as effectively as I could, but we'll see how it goes. And now at least I have a little bit of firepower in every row, and I can sort of start using some blowers. Unfortunately, I lose a sunflower there, but honestly, that's better than losing one of the primal pea shooters there. So take it. The middle row now all of a sudden is looking really problematic. You can see I decide to up the ante a little bit there. Maybe should have used some of my plant food, I want to say. Instead, I just sort of started feeling a little overwhelmed and decided to use one of my instants. I saw that guy was, the Buckethead didn't die, so I actually had to use another instant. But again, I'm doing very well on money at this point, so I didn't feel like it was super problematic, and actually got a super, super lucky blow over there and got rid of that guard. Not incredibly lucky. I did have 2 primal Ps there, so the odds were, like, somewhat in my favor, but at this point I'm like, you know what, like, let's just use 2 more instants, let's get rid of all the dudes on screen, let's not mess around with this level, and let's be done with it. So I end up using like 4 or 5 instants on this level, but you know, I was just feeling like, you know, I was feeling the crunch. I was feeling like it really sort of was coming down to that level. So I got a gold split, but again, it was partially due to the use of the instants. And honestly, I wonder if, you know, using one of the snow instance is maybe a little bit more effective, just because, again, slowing down the zombies is very important on that level. But nonetheless, I'm feeling good about that. A little bit slow my plant selection here. I don't know what was going on. I think I just didn't want to make any mistakes. I decided to take the Grimrose here, which I sort of, you know, I've sort of tried to work through a couple different strategies for this level. I might even eventually go with an all-instant strategy on this level at some point or another. I do want to do a little bit more testing with this one to see, you know, to see what exactly would be, you know, the best to take. I like the laser because it's a good counter to the cannon zombies that we get here, but yeah, it is going to depend on Zomboss RNG. That's sort of what I'm feeling at this point. This level, I don't tend to gain or lose a significant amount of time. You know, it's a lot more about, you know, just kind of using. I actually didn't think that was going to work, but it did, so I kind of luck out there. Use a little bit of poison there. Again, just doing, you know, quick and easy 50% rules. You know, again, trying to take care of all the zombies that I can. I knew a football zombie was going to appear there, so I wanted to be prepared for it. Again, another laser zombie would be good. I felt a little behind on sun on this level as well. I don't think I planted quite as much sun as I possibly could have. I actually think that poison shroom that you see in the back actually should have been a Grimrose. I think that would have helped out a lot more on this one. I maybe should have used I should have just used the Grimrose there. I don't know why. I felt the need to do both of those, but like, I like the plant selection here, but I am wondering if one more instant would have been good, or if it just would have been too problematic with the cannon zombies. Again, yeah, that's definitely one area that'll require just a little bit more time. I could, you know, if I have enough instants, right, I could end up just using. I decide to let the top row go, obviously, understandably, and the bottom row was easy enough to finish out. So again, a pretty good level, and it is going to come all down to Zomboss. Am I going to play well? Am I going to have enough money? Is the Zomboss RNG going to be cooperative? So you can tell I was feeling pretty nervous at this point, understandably, right? Because we still have a sub 150 that's on the table. So, you know, like, it's looking pretty good. And again, unfortunately, first instance of Zomboss RNG, not so good. We don't need the Wild West here. We are looking for Ancient Egypt. We'll see how many resets this one takes. Yes, so the arrows actually push when the zombies reach it. The zombies get pushed in the direction that the arrows dictate. Each reset, by the way, costs 25 seconds, but it's ultimately worth it because the zombosses are so much faster in these levels. And I got second try Ancient Egypt, which is sort of right on par what you would expect. There's only it's a 1 in 3 chance that you get it on any of the levels, so the probability, again, of getting it in 2 tries is about what you would expect. So I kind of got average Zomboss RNG right here, so not bad. Yep. Looking for the Egypt here, and again, our friend Snapdragon is going to come in super handy here, no question. I unfortunately got littered with zombies in that bottom row, so I actually decided to just let them go. It's a little bit of a risk, but again, I do have a little bit of money if I ever, you know, reach a point where I feel like I have to deal with that. I decide to use a cherry bomb there. I'm like, you know what? Like, I can't let Rose go that early. But then, of course, the second row is already going to get let go. So already here, I'm sort of feeling like, you know, I'm feeling a little bit behind. But then get a great plant food right there. Again, a run-changing plant food. that I feel like really kind of helped me out. I don't quite get the value out of that one that I could have, but again, it was still overall pretty good, I would say. Again, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm now down 2 lawnmowers, but my the plants that I have are looking pretty good. Although that top row is looking scary, so I do decide to use another plant food right there to really help protect that top row from problems, and the cannon there to help destroy some of those a little bit. You can see he was about to run forward. I buy a plant food and use a couple extra plant foods on him just to like really make sure. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off. I might need the plant food for something else if I have a row that ends up being like super problematic. But yeah, again, this was looking really good. I have 5 snapdragons out. That's quite excellent. I even have an extra one in reserve, for when something like that inevitably happens. But yeah, again, another perfect plant food doing a ton of damage to him. Unfortunately, I don't quite get the RNG that I need on some of those bottom rows, but it's going to be okay. I even have a cherry bomb that I use to help deal with the Garg and do a little bit of extra damage. Another plant food I get really early. He's stunned. I wanted to wait for him to hop just one more time and then use another plant food, and that actually does it, believe it or not. I even got one more plant food on top of that. So again, a really strong level, and believe it or not, I got a gold split on this, despite it being a second try Ancient Egypt. I guess it wasn't quite a gold split, right? But I'm like, 1 second away or 3 seconds away from a gold. So an incredible level on a second try Zomboss. Again, that goes to show that, again, a sub 3 minute time there is probably possible. Now, again, I did spend $100 to buy a plant food, so that's got to be like taken into account a little bit, but yeah, not getting the first try here either. So I'm like, oh man, I still easily could lose 2 minutes on this level alone. If I get 7th, 8th try Zomboss, which I have before, and I got the 400 coins, which is again, kind of a run saver when it comes down to it. All the money that I have on the very last level, definitely comes in handy for sure. So getting the 4,000 coins was really nice as well. So again, another reset coming in here, and now I've already lost a minute just due to resets on these 2 levels alone. So very, very, very scary. Yep. Oh yeah, the nerves were going crazy there, Mr. Tripster. It was out of control. Yep. So again, I have to restart again. Again, all the RNG in this run, basically, not all the RNG, but the big RNG events all come down to the last 3 levels, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, 3rd try. I'll take 3rd try. It's not as good as it could be, but 3rd try is still pretty good. You'll see very quickly why the far future is definitely the Zomboss that we want to go after here. Basically, the plant food squares that we get are just way too strong. Yeah, and I have to reset because I'm trying to manipulate. Each reset gives you a new possibility for which Zomboss you're going to get. There's a 1 in 3 chance on each of these levels that I get the Zomboss that I'm looking for, and in this case, it was the far future one. Maybe there's a way to manipulate this. It's not out of the question. As far as we know, there's no known way, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a way. So so we'll have to so we'll have to see for sure. Again, already getting pretty good luck. I have a full row of puff shrooms, so again, I use the plant food there pretty early on. And again, you'll see what I try to do here. I try to balance it such that I have sort of X's and crosses in each of the rows, so that I always have the ability to like counter whatever plants zombies that Zomboss decides to throw at me. I maybe use that plant food a little bit early, and maybe should use another one right here again, especially where I sort of see what's coming there. I didn't get maybe quite as many X's as I could have early on, but now again you can really see the snowball effect right here as we is sort of like like I'm a little bit behind on the plant food. I'm like is it worth buying another plant food here? But I decide to basically be patient, sort of play this one out a little bit, and sort of just figured the plant food comes eventually. It's not like I was that close to killing Zomboss. I just didn't want to lose too many of my plants there. You can actually see a super cute, this is so important. It's so important that I used a plant food right there, because the the fume shrooms counter Zomboss as he's trying to run forward. Zomboss was going to run forward and kill 2 rows of plants there, but I timed that plant food perfectly, and I end up saving 2 rows worth of plants. So again, very, very important that worked out exactly the way that it had to. And again, now you can see the spiral is out of control. The plant foods are just way too strong on this level. And Zomboss just absolutely crumbles to the strategy. So so that's what we got. And basically, yeah, I knew one more plant food was basically going to do enough damage. You can see already the fumes are doing damage, the puff shrooms are doing damage, and yeah, Zomboss was not long for this world. So you can see, again, despite losing well over a minute to needing to reset twice, I still, in not using any money whatsoever, I still get a pretty good time coming out of this level, and so I'm feeling like really good. I didn't get more money, but I did get I am 2.5 minutes behind, and if I can, but you see I'm right up against a gold split here, 2 minutes 14 seconds. I'm right up against, and I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do? And there's a 1 in 4 chance that I get the Zomboss that I was looking for, and incredibly it works out. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, I don't have as much money as I did at this point in my PB, but the fact that I got a first try Zomboss on Modern Day 34 was a real run saver. You can see right there, I do a little cheeky strategy right there. I slow him down very early on, just so I can kind of accumulate some more plants without him throwing as many zombies as he does early on. Again, getting a lot of the Stalias. Not maybe my first choice. The fire is really a great one. I tend to hold off on that, just until you can see he was just about to try to refresh things a little bit. Yeah, you can see there. I really try to use all the Stalias to stall him out as much as I can. Do a decent amount of damage there. Really, the strategy here again, yeah, trying to use trying to first use the hot potatoes, and then go ahead and use the fire instant to try to melt things as best you can. Yep, you see there, I decided to use the one of my other instants, because I knew I had a multiple. I knew I was going to have 800 left over, so I wanted to do that. I'm not too worried about that top row. I do decide to add just a little bit of stuff there to the very end. I decided to use my last instant here, which was just a mistake. You can see I actually just didn't manage to get him before he entered the his cycle there. So a slight mistake there at the end, and a misclick on the Centurion, but I do have the 2 fire snow peas or fire peas in the middle, and now all I need is probably 1 to 2 more cycles, and I should be able to get him done. And sub 150 is looking really close. If I can get him in the next minute, I should be able to get that 150. Again, I get a couple of hot potatoes, some really nicely timed hot potatoes. Do just enough damage right here to get him into his cycle, and I have so much firepower out in the rows at this point that he just melts. And you can see right there at the last second, just as he was about to arm himself again, I do it, and I think that might actually be a 149.29, but it ends up not mattering. We get him right away, and we get the sub 150, which it's not guaranteed, it could be the last 10-minute marker that this run ever hits. I do think that there's probably like 3 to 5 minutes worth of improvements that, if we really grind for things, could go really well. I don't know if we'll ever see another 10-minute marker. We might. Again, like I didn't think we'd see another 10-minute marker with PvZ1, and of course we did. But again, this feels like quite the accomplishment. Certainly a major milestone that we have for PvZ1 speedrunning. And again, I was incredibly happy with the